Hello, my name is John McGee. I am a retired Army officer. I was born in 1978 in Pennsylvania. I went to Gannon University in Erie, Pennsylvania. What else?
When were you married?
I was married in 2005.
And this is my dad. Okay. What decade were you a teenager in?
1990s.
What did you and your friends do for fun?
Went to the mall. We went outside. We did all kinds of stuff. We did sports. Sports was big. I mean, yeah.
Did you have a job?
I did. I worked at McDonald's for a little bit.
Did you have
It was terrible.
Oh. What was the best part about working at McDonald's?
The free food.
What was the worst part?
Everything else.
Was it really dirty?
No, it was actually very clean. McDonald's. It was. They were big on cleanliness.
How much did you get paid?
$4.25 an hour, which was the minimum wage back then.
Oh, times changed. How old were you when you got your first job?
I was 15 years old. Grandma had to drive me up to the mall because I worked at the one in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a smaller store. So she just drive me up there, and I worked there for I don't know, a year and a half, maybe. Until you get a better job. I really hated working there.
I think I would too.
It was a very clean place. It was just, it kind of smelled like, everything smelled like fried.
Yeah.
And you smell like fried food. I really didn't like that.
Yeah. What kind of music did you and your friends listen to?
I liked alternative rock and country music. So those were the two sort of genres, which were completely unrelated to each other.
What were some of the really popular singers in those genres in the 90s?
So in country, it was like Garth Brooks. There was George Strait. There was all kinds of stuff that some of them are still touring. For alternative, I like Pearl Jam, Nirvana. Obviously, they're not touring anymore. Yeah.
Did you see any of them live?
Yeah, I did. I saw a couple live. Pretty much when I went to college, I started going to concerts.
What were some TV shows you like to watch?
Wow, this is hard. Believe it or not, The Simpsons was on. The Simpsons are still on, the longest running show ever. But they were early Simpsons. Who's the Boss was popular. There was I don't know.
What were some of the actors on the TV shows and
I
movies?
don't remember.
None of them?
No.
What about the movies? Or what movies did you like?
Whatever was in the theater. So movies didn't go so you could wait for it to come out on video, but if you wanted to see a movie, you had to go to the theater when it first came out, and then if you could go to Blockbuster or somewhere like that and rent the videotape
What's Blockbuster?
6 months later of a store that sold or rented videotapes with movies on them.
But not DVDs, the
DVDs were
things?
later.
Okay.
So that there was it was a rectangle, the VHS tape, and you'd put it in.
Oh yeah.
Some movies were long and they had 2 tapes. You had to pull it out and change it out.
Do you remember any of the specific movies?
No. Grandpa collected movies. He would go to the library and rent out all kinds of movies, and he would copy them, which was I think actually illegal, but he would do that. So we had literally 100 movies on tape, which takes up a lot of room because the tapes were this big. So they had drawers you could put them in. They were lined up.
What were the trends? Do you remember any specific trends? Clothing?
Yes, I do remember trends. So we went from at the end of the 80s, I guess, or early 90s, where people would really tight jeans were a thing. People would peg their jeans. They would they'd turn them over and roll them up. Mm-hmm. And it'd be pegged or whatever they call them, pegged. To super loose clothing. And everything got really, really it was nothing was fitted. Everything was really loose. The looser the better. Super baggy clothing, baggy jeans, flannels were big. It's part of that alternative music thing.
Mm-hmm.
Long hair came back.
Do you have long hair?
Believe it or not, I had like hair to here at one point.
Interesting.
Yeah, I could pull it back. I didn't. I could. Yeah. It was really baggy. These were really, really baggy. It was a lot of fabric.
Were there any hangout places that you and your friends like regularly went?
So going to the mall was a thing. People go to the mall, which was, I mean, it was a small town, so you go to the mall, you hang out at the mall. People would go up to the Circuit, which is a place you would go to in one of the nearby cities where you go up there and just kind of cruise. And it was about I think it's like 4 blocks square. You kind of drive in circles. You see people you pick them up and kind of hang out.
What did Grandma and Grandpa think about like you doing that stuff? Like, were they fine with it?
Yeah, they were okay with it. Like I had a curfew, but it was, it depended on the night, obviously. But we were sort of they call us the latchkey generation because we were the first generation that we'd get home from school and like nobody would be there. Like our parents generally both worked.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like the 70s too, but we were the same generation because we were all born at the same time. But it was, we were the first generation that, like, generally speaking, you get home and your parents would come home later. So there's a certain amount of responsibility on you to take care of yourself and get yourself a snack without making a mess.
Do you think that made your generation more responsible than like
I think so.
ones?
Yeah, I think so. I think it forced us to be responsible. It also caused us to get in trouble in some ways too, because you weren't supervised,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it taught responsibility.
What did you do when you got home, when you were by yourself?
I mean, I would let myself in the door. I had a key from probably 8th grade on. I might ride the bus home. Before I could drive, I might ride the bus home. I might walk. It was about 1.5 miles. I would walk sometimes or ride my bike. I wouldn't normally walk. I would ride my bike or take the bus. I'd get home. I would probably I eat something. I might do my homework and just watch TV, or hang out with my friends. Maybe I'd call up my friends and see what they're doing. If I was gonna leave, I'd have to leave a note and a phone number because we didn't have cell phones.